From Vancouver to Halifax, Flin Flon to Estevan, he's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, good morning, Canada. Welcome to the Rod Pedersen Show on this Wednesday, August the 28th. We're coming to you from the bunker in a field in Western Canada. I am your host for the next couple of hours. Rod Pedersen has mentioned. He's Darren DuPont over there in chair number 2. If I'm Chachi, he's Joni.
Joni and Chachi. All right.
You know who that is?
I do.
He probably doesn't even know. No.
I know.
Well, that's good.
I didn't really,
Sunday, Monday, happy days.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
Thursday.
We're in a great mood.
That's about all I know, though.
The weekend comes.
What else do you need to know? What else do you need to know? So Wednesday here on the program, as I mentioned, Derek the Duke Myers joining us here in chair number 1. How are you, Duke?
I'm great. I'm a little nervous today. I got to admit, I have a huge golf game this afternoon with Mike Tate and Mike Sillinger.
What's so big about it?
Well,
money?
Besides the names?
It probably means I'm going to be a little bit lighter in the change department by the end of the day.
Well, go to the driving range first.
I know I got to tune up.
You'll be fine.
Nobody warms up before they golf.
I don't.
That could be your secret today.
I absolutely don't. Todd, our pro, he's like, Derek, do you need a map to find the driving range?
I will guarantee those two won't be warming up. So good luck, by the way.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
And I know that you always have the hot takes. It's been a busy week in the world of sports across
CFL.
this fine land, especially in the CFL. So we'll be getting your hot takes on that. Well, I'm excited about the guests today for a lot of reasons. Matt Cause joining us from CFL.ca and TSN 1050 Radio Toronto. Longtime friend of mine to talk CFL stuff. He's got a great column out there that, I don't know if you read it. It's on the CFL page right now about the Lewis Ward streak of 69 kicks and will it ever be broken? Ugh. He thinks it might. But he says, what will never be broken is the Matt Dunnigan 700-yard passing game from 1994. We'll talk to Matt Cause about that. Jamel Richardson will be with us, as you guys were mentioning. The great Jay Rich came to Saskatchewan a boy, left to go to the Dallas Cowboys, came back a man, and then ate the Riders' lunch as a member of the Alouettes in a couple of Grey Cups.
He was a handful.
And who am I missing here?
Mark-Way McDaniel.
Mark-Way McDaniel of the Montreal Alouettes coaching staff. So I'm looking forward to that. But I don't think I'll bring this up with Jay Rich, but if you are any Rider fan worth your salt, you'll remember, and I don't think you were covering the Riders at the time, Derek.
I wasn't here yet, no.
When the Riders were practicing outdoors on the chain link fence beside Taylor Field and a group of animal rights activists showed up with signs and they were picketing outside practice.
Yeah, I was definitely not there yet.
Did you hear that story?
Oh, yes. Lee Jones tells this one very effectively.
What does he tell? Because I don't really remember what it was.
It was something to do with a dog, wasn't it?
Well, it was about the dog. No, it was apparently Jay Rich. Either it was his landlord or his renters or his neighbors.
Yeah.
He opened the gate and let the dogs out, and they took off.
Yeah,
and never came back.
Yeah, and it was like an accident.
It was an accident,
Yeah.
and he was accused of being a dog hater by animal rights activists.
Wow.
So picketing out front Rider practice.
It was right down there with the...
You can't make this stuff
That
up.
one, with the ridiculousness of that one, with the cornerback who had the car who spelled Saskatchewan wrong.
Albert Brown.
Wrong.
He had Saskatchewan across the side of his car, Albert Brown, number 4, and spelled Saskatchewan wrong. In his defense, it's not easy to spell.
No, it is not.
No.
Easy to draw,
That's
hard to spell.
That's true.
We welcome our viewers from across the country and say good morning to you. A lot chiming in this morning. I say good afternoon to our new maritime friends. We sat by yesterday and looked at the analytics. A lot of viewers out there in Atlantic Canada.
Well, you were spreading the love this weekend.
Yeah, I loved it. I really did love it. And let's see, 1 minute before we go to air, Derek says to me, how is the Maritimes?
Well, I want to know, and especially...
I don't have time now.
I want to know, I especially want to know, I caught the game, but I want to know about the food. How was your food?
Oh.
Did you get some shellfish? Did you get into some
Actually,
lobster?
I'm glad that you brought that up. By the way,
food guy.
This show this week has been such an absolute blur.
Right.
I haven't had a chance to get into these kinds of things. So I will just say this. Our daughter just moved out there. She's living in a remote area of New Brunswick. That's a story in and of itself.
Wow.
Alyssa.
Didn't know that.
And his family, because she moved out for a boy, are now the biggest fans of this show. They're watching the show. They're listening to the podcast, all of that. And they took us for lunch to a place called Seaside Grill. And, of course, Mrs. P and I ordered the seafood for 2 platter. And it comes out all deep fried.
What?
We were expecting fresh.
Yeah.
So we're picking the batter off everything.
Steamed
right?
or broiled.
Right.
Yeah.
Not like it wasn't great. It was fantastic.
Just wasn't what you expected.
No, and then as far as the lobster, clearly you weren't watching Monday morning, but I said how the maritime people are so much like prairie people, which we've always heard. And,
True.
And I've been out there 20 years ago and saw for myself that it's true. They're like, take some lobster home with you. Take it home with you. And I'm like, I don't want to take it home. We're good. They're like, no, take it in your carry-on. You can pack it in.
You can.
Take it.
Yes, you can.
It's okay. I don't need it.
Did you get screeched in? Aside from drinking the screech, did you have to kiss the fish?
No.
Oh, because at the kitchen party, Vian Timmons, our good friend from the University of Regina, president over there, the U of R kitchen party gets screeched in, and it's some tradition where you kiss this
Kiss a fish.
raw fish, and then you drink
drink moonshine.
turpentine or whatever it is.
Yeah, so I wasn't partaking
No,
in
but I thought you might just have to kiss the fish regardless. But
Anyways, it was all
But they are
fantastic.
good people.
It was
They are
all
good folk out there.
great people.
Yeah.
And well, the one thing was, Darren and I were talking about this the other day. A lot of them were saying, are you going to be voice of the Schooners? Are you going to be the play-by-play voice of the Schooners? And I was telling Darren that, and I said, well, 3 things on that. 1, they need to want me. They
need a team.
They need a team, and I think they probably would want a local guy. 2, I just don't think I'm cut out for play-by-play anymore. This here is what I believe I'm cut out for.
Do you remember?
And 3,
oh, sorry.
I don't think DuPont would let me go.
No.
We're locked down here with what is a really good thing. So this is the new phase of my life. So I'm not really chasing the play-by-play thing.
I let you out of here for 22 hours a day, and then you got to come back.
Well,
which is a pretty good
Tracking bracelet.
He got a day off to go halfway across the world
Exactly.
and had to come back. Do you remember the phone call you gave me, I don't know, what was it, 8 years ago? They want me to do a show. I don't know how to do a show. I'm a play-by-play guy. I have no idea what's going on.
The old radio show, yeah.
And you were so nervous.
I was scared.
I just sweating bullets. I could feel it from the phone. I was gone somewhere. I think it might have been in Vegas or something like that. And I'm like, well, I'll be back and I'll do what I can because I don't know what the hell's going on either. But yeah.
Somehow we muddled our way through
and
it.
And now, almost a decade later, I'm not a play-by-play guy. I'm a host. I'm a show host.
I'd rather do...
Funny how that works, eh?
I don't need to travel anymore. I've been everywhere. And... this is just more fun. Now, moving on.
Yeah, I would agree.
We are in the warm-up right now, as always. We do have sponsors by Tyler, our business manager, and DuPont saying I can't announce them yet. So
we need contracts.
Just hold on. Yeah, I guess apparently we need contracts.
It's like the CFL. You could just Scott Flory this one, back right out if you wanted to. That's not fair to the U of S Huskies coach.
To our Saskatoon viewers this morning, by the way, I'm flip-flopping between what I'm going to do Friday night. And it was such chaos when I came in here today. I tried to have a conversation with you, Darren, but people are golfing over there and they're running around all over the place. So you aren't doing the Huskies game on television Friday night?
No, my television debut is next week.
Okay. So I'm trying to decide between going to the Husky game Friday night, which is what I'm leaning towards.
Who do they got?
I don't know who they got. Bisons? I think it's Manitoba. And then it doesn't matter. It's a home game. And then the Pats are home Friday night to the Blades. And everybody's asking, did you go to the blue and white game? Did you go to Moose Jaw last night? A guy in the gym said to me yesterday morning, it's still golf season. It's not. He was a long-time Pats season ticket holder. Yeah. He's like, I'm not. There will be lots of hockey. And it kind of ruined it for me because I'm of that mind. I'm going to do these other things. There's only 4 home games in Canada West. Right. So I'll probably go to the Huskies game. I know I'm jumping all over, but I got to get these things. So do you want to go to the Husky game Friday?
I'd be in.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably what we'll do. Nick Kyprios announcing this morning that he has mutually agreed upon with Rogers Sportsnet to part ways. It's very rarely mutual.
They didn't want to pay him.
Is that what it was?
Wow.
They don't want to pay anybody.
No, because they're $5.2 billion in the hole because they just blew their entire wad on the NHL contract. And now nobody's watching NHL because for whatever reason, you want to pick a reason, and all the Canadian teams are out of the playoffs early. I mean, that's kind of what they're banking on is long playoff runs where you get those big numbers and big contracts. I mean, talk to the guys around here selling advertising. That's what you're banking on. And when the Leafs go out to the Bruins every year in the first round and Winnipeg, gags again and they lose out in the first. Oilers can't even make it into the damn playoffs.
It's tough.
Calgary, first seed. See you later. Man, that's just flushing hundreds down the toilet.
So pause for 1 second. Tom watching from Winnipeg this morning, and we can't ignore our Winnipeg viewers. They're number 3 city for viewership. The game's in Winnipeg.
He's right. It is.
I'm not going to Winnipeg this weekend.
Yeah.
We got enough going on here. Guess I'm going to the Pats and Blades.
game.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Hot dogs.
By the way, Pats 3-1 winners last night in Moose Jaw.
Over the Tribe. Yes. So, yeah, they did. Thanks for that. And thank you, Tom in Winnipeg, for tuning us in, by the way, that the game will be at IG Field. Where were we? Oh, back to Kyprios. The question became, because his statement that he put out on Twitter was somewhat ambiguous, was it not? We've agreed to part ways.
Yeah, well.
And stay tuned for the next announcement, something along those lines. I'm a Kyprios fan.
I've grown to like Kipper a lot, actually. I did
Most
when he
people
first
are
got
like
on,
you.
but I grew to like him.
Well, I always thought him as a hammerhead.
Yeah, he was.
And maybe he was a hammerhead, but he won a Stanley Cup with the 1994 New York Rangers. He was a great NHL player. Doesn't necessarily translate to being great on television, but I thought he was great on television.
That was very good.
Yep.
And he obviously knows his stuff. He's connected. I think for a while he was trying to be the Bob McKenzie of Sportsnet, and he's just not that, and he shouldn't have to be. Bob McKenzie didn't win a Stanley Cup. Bob McKenzie, as far as I know, has never been on skates.
And to be fair, Kipper was pretty plugged in with the players.
For sure.
Yeah.
But he's not an insider.
Right.
I just want to see what you think, Kipper, about what happened in the first period and in the second period. So sad to see Kipper's gone to maybe. Do you know that they don't want to pay him, or you're just guessing they don't want to pay him?
I'm guessing that. I mean, that's kind of been the MO around there. Like Bob McCown, why is he gone? I mean, he's number 1 in the entire market. Why do you let that guy go? Well, because he's over $1 million a year. I mean, at some point, you can only pay so much. It's owned by Rogers. How are those Blue Jays? Numbers doing these days? They're not making a bunch of money off Blue Jays broadcast
CFL's
right
beating
now.
the Blue Jays in ratings.
There you go. You know what? I heard that, but I could never find the actual numbers. I heard Gordon Miller said that on Overdrive or Overtime or whatever that show is, but I couldn't find the numbers anywhere. The CFL ratings numbers have been real ambiguous this year. They've been hard to find.
Yeah, kind of goes part and parcel with the CFL. They release what they want released, and they don't. I guess most leagues are like that.
You mean like the attendance numbers, and Toronto was going to be a sellout that night at BMO? What did I say? They're not selling the upper deck. They're classifying the lower bowl as a sellout.
They made it look like it was going to be sold out.
So I couldn't buy it. However, the Riders are going to sell out this weekend.
It was like...
Yeah, I wasn't buying that for a second.
Scott, writing in on the Facebook wall, says, can we walk up and purchase tickets for the game on Saturday at the field, at Leibel Field? He's talking about our all-star celebrity charity football game Saturday night. The list of stars is mind-boggling. It's like somebody punched me in the face. All I see is stars. Derek Myers, Darren DuPont, Jason Claremont, Mike McCullough.
Neil Hughes.
Help me out. Neil Hughes,
Mike
Noah
Abu-Meshrik.
Picton, Mike Abu-Meshrik.
Is Green there?
Andrew Green, I don't know. Was he invited, Clark?
Yeah, he's got another commitment.
Oh, he's got his event that night. Yeah, at AGT Lounge. So anyways,
that makes it tough.
Over to the business guy, over to the RE Gold of the show, Darren DuPont.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You know, it's true. You can absolutely walk up and join. It's going to be fun. There's going to be lots of room. Okay, this thing isn't going to be jammed at the seams. There's lots of room at Leibel. There's lots of room on the grass too if we are full. But no, you can get tickets at the door. You can get tickets from anybody. RMF has tickets if you want to make sure you got them in advance. You can message the show. We can hook you up. But they're also online. RodPetersonShop.com. You can get your tickets in there. Cheaper if you want to buy a group of 5 or group tickets, but it's going to be fun. We're going to play football. You're going to be on the mic, so that's going to be fun.
You don't have to play.
You and Frenzy.
Well, this is BS.
Yeah, I know. So you'll get entertained with Rod, and then afterwards,
Frenzy.
we're going to blow the doors open, and you can get on the field and actually get autographs, mingle with all these great alumni.
Get your selfies.
And for the kids, I found out yesterday that I believe we're going to have the big inflatable bouncing house castles.
Oh, there we go.
The
Dino bouncers.
Dino bouncers. Yeah,
I love it.
That's a good
I
scale.
need to pause. The warm-up's just getting rolling. We haven't even talked about the Andrew Harris drug suspension yet. We haven't talked about the Bombers cutting Chris Matthews yet. We really haven't gotten into the Hockey Night in Canada Sportsnet panel now without Nick Kyprios. Do you like these guys? Do you not like these guys? Did you like the old days when it was the newspaper guys, Al Strachan, and who's the guy, Eric Tahachik?
Yeah.
Newspaper guys. Whoop.
John Davidson was on there.
JD. We'll talk about all these things. We'll get to the poll question, too, when we come back. This is the warm-up. You're watching Canada's most watched Facebook live show, The Rod Pedersen Show, and listen live at rodpeterson.com.
You're watching Rod Pedersen on demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpeterson.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.